Good afternoon, everyone. I guess everyone is still feeling the happiness, the excitement from the previous one. That's pretty good. Helped me a lot, so I can release. Well, it's Chen again, and from Asia area. Today I'm going to present Bangladesh cake for oil and egg reduction. As you know, we have been trying a lot of new applications. And just lately, I'm talking to Bangladesh potential distributors. And they say that bakery is the biggest market. It's account for like 70% of the market potential. So they are interested in the bakery market. They're using Citri-Fi. Of course, they are interested in cost reduction. So I'm introducing them to use Citri-Fi for oil and egg reduction. And for better persuasive, I'm deciding to do a test by myself. So I was successfully done 50% of oil reduction for them, and it's 1:8, 1 Citri-Fi and 8 water ratio. I'm reducing the cost. There's no change of texture, mouth feeling. Everything is good, and we actually can increase the mouth feeling. And in the 25% of egg reduction with 200 FG, we also reach to the same benefit with a very good cost reduction. And I share the information and report to headquarters, and then we decide to go one step further to do the one that we have never been done, which is we have receiving a lot of requests from all around the world, which is to reduce the oil and cake altogether. The reason that we want to do so is one, as we know that cake has a very unique flavor, and it also works as an emulsifier. So sometimes people find difficulty to replace that in the high amount because the flavor may change, because the emulsifier effect may change. So what we want to do is we want to increase the cost reduction from this application, and also we want to maintain the flavor and the functionality of eggs. Well, the test was being done go through a few tests. The first one, we were doing 25% of oil reduction and 25% of egg reduction. And with 1:9 Citri-Fi and water ratio, and find that, well, the texture is good, the mouth feeling is good. We are reached to the cost reduction, but I'm not very satisfied with the volume when you look at that, the rates of that. So we are actually do few tests based on that application. We do 25% reduction oil and egg, 25% reduction oil and egg, 20% reduction oil and egg, and 25%. So a lot of tests being done. After all, we are reaching to the right combination. The right combination that we are reaching to was 20% of oil reduction and 20% of the egg reduction. And the water and the Citri-Fi ratio, the Citri-Fi and the water ratio was 1:12. And the process that we have been made, the first trial, which we are using 25% oil and 25% of egg reduction, we found that the volume from that we can see it is not so good as the control. So we are wondering what can we do. So we reduce a little bit of the oil and egg to be replaced. We reduce to 20% oil and we reduce to 25% of eggs. And then the result is the same. So we are wondering, probably because the water, we know that water can affect the race of the cake. So we increase the water, and finally we have this success application, the right combination that we do. I would not say it is the best combination, but this one is the right combination. Well, here I want to give special thanks to the HydroBio, because I'm using their lab for this test for 2 morning and some afternoon time, and I don't want to go any farther. So there can be done for a better job, I believe. And here is the formulation that I would like to share. It's actually very simple. It's just simply taking out the eggs, 20%, and oil, 20%. So it from the egg was originally 24.90%, and it turns to 19.93%. And sorry, the eggs. And the oil was 9.45%, and it turned to 7.56%. And we simply add 0.53% of Citri-Fi 200 Fg, and extra water, 6.64%. The procedure is also simple. The whole procedure is actually follow the Bangladesh formulation that they give me for trial. And the only different things is add Citri-Fi in the dry ingredients. So we mix sugar and salt and eggs, and add sorbitol, glycerin, cake gel, mix well, and all ingredient, the dry ingredient add in, and waters and oil. So here is the result. The control was in left-hand side, and test was in right-hand side. Citri-Fi 200 Fg, 1 to 12 Citri-Fi to water ratio. The result in volume, baking loose from the first day, and to 7 days after 7-day storage, there's not significant change, and the high race was the same. The result in cost reduction. I'm taking the pricing here is what I'm taking from Taiwan. The palm oil price 1.58 per kg, the egg price 1.70 per kg, and Citri-Fi 200 Fg was sold in $9 per kg. So we are able to reach to 0.46% of cost reduction from the egg and oil we replaced, and 0.09% of the cost reduction from the total formulation. And we want to go further to compare. I was mentioning that the objective for this application is to reduce the eggs that replaced, so we can remain the flavor, as a lot of people will have this question. And also we want to further increase the cost reduction. So we want to compare the same standard and the different parameter, what will result to. So in this one, we're using 100 Fg to reduce 50% of the oil. And we can save, you can see the yellow column, we can save up to $3.4 from this formulation. And we can save up to 44% from the oil being replaced. So the total reduction from this application, from this formulation, from 50% of oil reduction, 1 to 8 ratio, 1 Citri-Fi, 8 water, we can save $3.46. And the second one, we don't do 25% with 200 Fg. We are able to save $3.8 from this formulation. And right now, we are using 1 part of Citri-Fi, 15 part of water. So we are increase the cost of saving a little bit. Now we want to do 20% egg and 20% oil reduction in here. We are able to reach to $4.16 at the same, based on the same formulation. But right now we are turned to 20% of oil reduction and 20% of oil, egg and oil reduction. And we are using 1 Citri-Fi to 12 water ratio. So we actually improve the cost that we're saving from using Citri-Fi to replace egg and oil. And at the same time, the other parameter, the cost, the taste, the organoleptic quality has not changed a lot. So we are successfully pushed to a further direction to reduce oil and eggs at the same time, more cost reduction, and we are able to keep the same texture, mouth-feeling, and organoleptic quality. So it is my presentation. I'm going to the lab for show you the procedure. Well, the procedure is simple. We follow the original Bangladesh formulation, the procedure that they gave us. And the only difference is to add Citri-Fi with dry ingredient. So the first step is we mix salt, eggs, and sugar, and mix well. And then we add sorbitol, glycerin, and the cake gel, and mix well. And then we mix all powder ingredients, including Citri-Fi. Yes. Milk powder, chocolate powder for flavor, and Citri-Fi 200 Fg. And we want to mix that well. And adding to it with water and additional water. Water. Okay, the water. Okay. And the procedure supposedly is 2 minutes for mixing. The last step will be to mix oil and from slow to high in 30 seconds. And that will be the procedure. And as we can see in here, the control and the 20% and 20% egg and 20% oil reduction is in here, and then we can try that on. No significant change in flavor and any other parameters, but the cost is significantly reduced. So thank you very much. I'm going to the stage.